is time again for my regular feature, Red News, Blue News, in which I analyze how the partisan media, those on the right and on the left, tell the same story in remarkably different ways. And today, this is the Cliven Bundy story. This was red news until it suddenly turned into blue news. Let me explain what I mean. Bundy is the Nevada rancher at the center of a culture war which very briefly seemed it was going to turn into a real-life range war. You probably know the story by now. Bundy's cattle graze on government land, but since he's refused to pay his grazing taxes, federal agents came to his ranch earlier in the month to seize his cattle. They came armed, and so did Bundy's supporters. Depending on your media source, Bundy was either an American patriot fighting for his rights or a lawbreaker who he should either pay up or go to jail. Two pretty different stories. On the left, MSNBC did pay some attention to the story early on. Here's Chris Hayes trying to put it in context.
People who break or are suspected of breaking the law find themselves staring at armed law enforcement officials every single day in this country. But the better question is, I think, when is it that people take up arms against the federal or state government, point their weapons at federal agents, and face no consequence for it?
So that's some blue news, but for the most part, this was red news, a focus of the right, with Fox News host Sean Hannity leading the way. Here he is interviewing Bundy on April 9th.
You talked about a range war with the federal government. There's a lot of people out there, now that they're taking your cattle, that are fearful that this is another Waco situation. Ruby Ridge has come up in some articles. What do you mean by range war? How far are you willing to take this?
And again, a week later, after the government surrendered, that's Hannity's word, Hannity kept bringing up worst-case scenarios about what might happen to Bundy in the future.
What would happen? God forbid. I mean, we saw the raid, for example, back with Elian Gonzalez. I'm not sure if you remember that raid. What would happen if they came in the early morning hours one day to your ranch?
For Hannity, this was not just a news story. This was part of a narrative. Here, watch this. See what I mean.
I got to be honest, I'm worried about the encroachment of our federal government that spies us on Americans illegally. We now know we have an IRS that harasses, intimidates, tries to silence opposition voices. I'm worried about the lies that are told to us about the NSA, about the IRS, about what happened in Benghazi and the lies that sold health care.
So that's Hannity's narrative. But others on Fox were not so quick to embrace Bundy. And some conservative bloggers were skeptical all along. On Thursday, they were the people saying, "I told you so." That's the day the New York Times published those quotes you've seen all over the place. Quotes that show Bundy's backwards, racist attitudes. The red news was over. Now, this was blue news. Fox News instantly cut back on the number of stories it aired about Bundy. MSNBC ratcheted it up. This is what Matt Lewis, a writer I really like at the conservative Daily Caller website, calls the boomerang part of the story. That was my attempt at a boomerang. Right-leaning outlets rally around someone, like Donald Trump, for example. Then that someone says something basically indefensible, and then left-leaning outlets seize on the story. Let's not forget CNN's role in all of this either. Bundy became a big story on CNN toward the end of the week, partly because he agreed to come on the channel several times for interviews. And those interviews breathed new life into the controversy. By then, of course, Fox had already moved on to another land dispute, this one in Texas. They were continuing to talk about government overreach, but not about Bundy. Now, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but maybe more people should have listened to one of those boomerangs I mentioned, Mr. Trump. Here's what happened on April 16th when Hannity asked Trump about the rancher.
You do have a certain law, I mean, you have it all throughout the United States, and they pay their fees, and they pay all sorts of grazing fees and things that I'm not so accustomed to. If I were Cliven, and I like him, I like his spirit, his spunk, and I like the people that, they're so loyal. I do like him, I respect him. He ought to go and cut a good deal right now. That's the best thing that could happen for everybody.
Donald Trump, voice of wisdom. That's how strange this story got.